All right, folks, I just want to get that one slide up because we need that as a brand new company. And so while I'm letting that slide soak into the to video there, I know you speed readers can't wait to get to the end there. There we go. Most importantly, you are solely responsible for your own investment decisions. There you go. Pretty simple, right? Now, I want to make a quick mention that this coming Monday, we are, and I'm about to share this screen here. This coming Monday, we are launching. We're absolutely launching. And we could have launched last week, but with all the commotion, we wanted to make sure we've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's and making sure this is going to be a good experience for you. Now, understand that right now, this is open to the public. Next Wednesday, this page that you see here, along with the midweek report that I just got finished recording and is now posted to YouTube and to my Twitter page, that will be members only, right? That has to be members only because our members are coming in by the hundreds, and we want to make sure that we're continuing to protect the value and preserve the value that they paid for. But I want to go through this publication because I have been putting trade alerts out. Not all of you are getting them because you don't have access to this. Now, we have a couple of folks from our staff on right now, and I do believe that this link is going out to those folks. Am I correct? Nod or Rob, or I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing here, because next Monday, this will not be going out to the general public. And who just said that they're not getting alerts? Jay-Z said not getting alerts. Well, here you are. There it is. Rob just put it in the chat. So now if you click on that link, you will have access to all of these alerts. And if you click on view, you'll see the one that went out today, right? You will see that in its simplest form. It's very simple. These publications are laid out in a very simple format where we have the trade blotter on top of the video, a nice big bold font so you folks don't need your reading glasses, and a video explaining the trade right there. Now, in this one, I put out the last 5 trades just to get everyone caught up. And the only one we're waiting for right now to kick in out of the last 5 is Campbell Soup, CPB. It's down a little bit, but I think that will go up. If we hit the upside target, like I think we will on Campbell Soup, and we're already moving on BITO, then we'll have 100% hit rate out of the last 5 there. And why am I even showing you this? Not to brag, of course, but to show everyone what we're going to be offering. When I put out a publication like this, understand this is not my recommendation that you got to go buy as much as you can, because option traders will be able to make their own decisions from a publication like this in the video. So for instance, if you see a bullish candle coming out on BITO, you option traders can figure out how to put on a positive delta with that. If you don't want to buy the stock, you sell puts, buy calls, sell put spreads, buy call spreads, do a diagonal calendar call spread, whatever you want to do. You could figure out how to put a positive delta on that. I cannot trade for you, but it's giving you some ideas right there, right? So that is the alert page, the way it sits right now. And for those of you who are in the chat, that link went out at 6:02, 2 minutes ago. So you could scroll up to 6:02 in the time and go ahead and pick that up. All right, so let me stop that. And now we get into the meat of this content here. Now, first and foremost, let me talk about another alert that is on that page. See here, if I go back, and this is where it almost got screwed up for some of our members, because last week I put out a long put publication on Ford, and it worked out very well. But this week, on this publication here that went out yesterday, it is a bullish signal that's coming up. So what I did, for those of you that are in this, it's still there, by the way. I was talking to those folks that got in on the puts. It obviously dropped, and not by a little bit. It gapped down right here on Monday, and then you see the volume dropping down here. Now I'm don't have this one as a forecast, but I'm giving this one to you anyway. Is that it came back down as I expected to the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement. Now, if you're part of the public that has no idea who Leonardo Fibonacci is, don't worry, he's not a pianist. He was a mathematician that created a formula and a sequence that is now used in the market. So it hit that 38.2, the volume started to drop. So look at the oscillators. So now the option trades went out, turned a negative delta into a positive delta. And I don't know how many of you did that, but you know, the way I'm trading it is I took my profits on the puts, took the profit from the puts, and went out and bought calls in September to get long that. And I'm going to take a ride up until the gap fills. See, that's how you use this type of information here, right? This is how you use it. I'm going to go through, and believe me, I will hit it. Tonight, I will go through 40 stocks in 54 minutes, starting right now. And the way I do it for the brand new folks is I take the star favorites from last week, and I start today's session off with the star favorites from last week. If your stock is labeled a star favorite, that means we're seeing an overwhelming bullish or bearish condition on the trading checklist. And that's how we do it. So last week, we carried on over AMD, and that was from Brunel. And I did a two-part forecast. All right, so this is how it's working out. You can see that, by the way, I'm starting off really slow. This is not how I normally talk. You folks who know me know that this is not my cadence, right? I'm reviewing to get everyone caught up. These diagonal lines are what I call zip lines. So I used to call them speed lines. And Bruce, who's one of our followers, said, you know, I think you should call it zip lines. So I did. I took Bruce's suggestion. We call it zip lines now. So this is my forecast, and it hit the forecast. Then I went down on the forecast, and it hit the target. Then last week, what I did is a two-parter. I said we would go up first, and then I thought we would hit resistance and drop. Well, look where we are. And you could thank Brunel for this, because this has been coming up week after week because it keeps turning into a star favorite. So we hit the upside target. So scorekeepers, which we do have given me a credit on the upside. What are we waiting for? In the chat box, what are we waiting for? Waiting for the downside to hit. Well, what do we see on this chat right now? Look at the numbers of people coming in. Folks, this is absolutely incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got a bearish engulfing, John. Now, for those of you who have followed me and would like to introduce the percentages of the time a bearish engulfing candle works out to be bearish, what is that? There it is. Look at that, folks. Look at that chat box. Scroll away. Yeah, a bearish engulfing, especially one like that, that's a big bearish engulfing, is very similar to that bearish engulfing. You see that? Now, what happened the last time we saw a bearish engulfing? Bam, AMD got smacked. Now, is it going to absolutely get smacked again? Well, we don't know that. We just know there's a high probability signal there. And yesterday we saw the drop in volume, which is bearish on the way up. Drop in volume on the way up is bearish. And today we saw the battle on the bearish engulfing, and that battle is supported by higher volume. So what that means is the sellers came in with force. The force part is reflected in the volume. They traded that up on the opening. Remember, on the opening, this had gapped up. It gapped up. It opened here. And then for the whole day, sellers kept the pressure on. And they did that with force. There's the force indication or confirmation. Now, I do expect that the CCI is going to turn tomorrow because I think we'll see a little slight drop in volume on the turn tomorrow. And I am keeping that downside target in place. So what is this now? It's still a star favorite. Thank you, Brunel. That downside target, 110.83, $110.83. Here we go. Next one, GIS. This came from Gino. Now we have an upside target that's still in place. What do we have here? Oh, green candle, almost the bullish engulfing. That stays on my star favorite list. So I'm putting 2 stars now. This one carries on over again as a star favorite. We got a pivot point here. See that? What is a pivot point? A pivot point is when we have a higher low and a higher high. So there is a pivot point to the upside, and the oscillators are moving up with buy signals. So that stays as an upside target right there at 78.98. And there's a gap above the market that I do believe will eventually fill. When? I don't know, but I think it will eventually fill. All right. Now, Walter, I see hands going up. Forgive me. I have a lot of stocks to cover. If you have a question, type that in there. We have a team of people on the Q&A right now, and then we will get those questions answered. But I don't know if I'll be able to bring on a live mic right now. We got too much to do, but I'll try. I can't promise you, but I'll try. All right, next one, Boyle. We had a couple people ask about this one. Boyle was on the star favorite to the downside. Now there it is. See it? My downside target last Wednesday was 59.25. What do we have right there? Well, that's a hit target. We hit the target. It went a little bit lower, pivoted up, and now we have a gap above and below, a very slight gap above. This is a tough one because I think Boyle could drop a little bit. This will be a 2-parter. I think it'll drop a little bit. Then I think it's going to go up to test resistance. So you can see past targets. When I do these on the zip lines, target was hit, target was hit, target may hit, and then may hit again. See, can't guarantee anything, but this is not a star favorite. So Amber and Derek, you won't be mentioned on Boyle next week, but thank you so much for playing on that one. I think a lot of people gave that. Now, Screaming Chicken says, any midweek updates? Well, yep, it's on YouTube and it's on my Twitter page. It's already out. Guys, you got to hit Screaming Chicken. I don't know what your real name is because you come in with a Screaming Chicken every week. But if you click on that notification bell, there we go. I'm not going to do, if you click on the notification bell on our brand new Sticky Trades video YouTube page, it's Sticky Trades video is the YouTube page, and click on that notification bell. As soon as I send out those reports, you get notified. Okay. All right. So downside target on Boyle again is 58.76, then up to 65.56. That's Boyle. Now, opposite to Boyle is KOLD. Now you have to understand that I closed my short put position out right there. I closed my short put position. I had an upside target on that. And what I told everyone was to keep an eye on the volume. I said, keep an eye on the volume as the stock is going up. And it's hard to see this, but look what was happening right here. So that upside target on KOLD was 68.58. And on Monday, it hit 68.11. Now, it didn't hit my target exactly, came close, but this is why I got out of my long position. And by the way, I say long position, I'm talking about my trades. This is my personal trade that I did that I announced to everyone, is I sold the 60 puts, bought the 55 puts for a big credit. But when I saw that drop in volume with a red candle approaching the target, I said, you know what? Let's not get greedy. Take the profits. And I did. So I got out of that. Now, this is going to be opposite from what I see in Boyle. It might go down a little bit to fill that gap. And then again, I think it's going to start going up to fill the gap. So this is another one that will not hit the star favorite list because there's not enough confirmation up or down. But I do think that it could go down to 58.61 and then right back up towards filling that gap at 65.81. That's KOLD. And we got scorekeepers out there keeping track of that. Now I'm looking to my left because I'm looking at BIDU. Baidu was brought to us by Mark last week, and this one was a star favorite. In the chat box only, don't type anything just yet. I'm just trying to find out how many brand new people are out there. How many of you are brand new to this? Put a Y in the box. Steve, welcome. Jeffries, Sapphire, Chaz, Nick, Neil. All right, look what's happening. SP, Scott, you're all new. Look now what you're seeing here, and I'm risking sounding like I'm boasting. I know it's going to sound that way, but I want to tell you that this was a 5-part forecast. And I'm going to slow this one down because this is important. This was a 5-part forecast where I said we would first go up and hit the target. What did we do? We did that the next day. That's forecast number 1. Then I said we would drop in volume. You see that little bar right there? I don't know if you could see that, but I said we would see a drop in volume. That's forecast number 2. What did it do? It dropped in volume, so that hit. Then I said we would see the stochastic pivot lower, which it has since. I did that a little bit early. So I said the stochastic would hit and pivot lower, which it did. That's forecast 3 that has been hit and target. Then I said the CCI would go down, which it did. That's 4. Now, part 5, which is the incredible thing that no one in the world, I guarantee you, no one in the world is going to do a 5-part forecast. No one. This is where it sounds like I'm boasting, but I'm not. I'm trying to show you how powerful these charts are with forecasting. Now, while no one in the world is going to give you a 5-part forecast like this, with my 5th forecast hitting precisely yesterday, right? See this zip line? You can't see it because it's in the red. But my downside target after the pivot on BIDU is right there at, what's that target? That is right there at 144.47. So we hit that. Now what do we have? That 5 points have been hit. Look in the chat box. I want some of the veteran attendees and members to go ahead and put this in there. What am I seeing on that chart that leads me more upside than downside? Who said that? Martin, gap. Yeah, there you go. See, this is what you got to pay attention to. 80% of the time gaps fill. 80%. There you go. It hit. Then after gaps fill, 80% of the time prices tend to reverse. So we have a drop in volume on the way down. That's telling us the sellers are losing momentum. The gap is filled, but the stochastic is still going down. So it will not make a star favorite, but I will go with an upside target on Baidu. And it doesn't look like much, but I think it could bounce off of that 20-period moving average to get up there to 147.85. So you're talking about another $4 to the upside. $4 to the upside. See what Gino said in there? This is why it's advisable to look at the chat. Gino knows what he's talking about. You know who Gino is through his product. You may not know his name, but Gino supplies. Oh, Gino, is it okay if I say who the big boys are that you supply? Right? Yeah, I got to see that. Make sure. Okay. Walmart, Costco, Dollar General. Gino supplies all the plastics and the resins and Dollar General for those companies. You see? So when Gino says, you know, AJ, freight is getting crushed right now. Containers are empty coming from China. The loads on some of these tractor trailers and shipping companies are loose loads. How many of you are in trucking know what a loose load is? Yeah, a loose load. You're not filled to capacity. So when I hear that from Gino, who in my mind is a leading indicator, that tells me China's in trouble. That tells us our economy is slowing down. So when I look at the irrational exuberance in the market, I go, whoa, who's buying at the top? Those are the real risk takers. Those are the hot dogs that go out. Yeah, and you may be making money on the way up, but I'm telling you, when the rug gets pulled out, you better be using risk management. I got to be careful. I don't want to go on a tangent there, but Baidu upside target of 147.85, not making it to the star favorite, but thank you so much, Mark. Here's another one. IONQ. This was another IONQ. I put IONG there. IONQ. Now, this was a big, another 5-point forecast that was put out by Miles, right? So where are we on this one? 4 out of the 5 have hit. 4 out of the 5 have hit. It went up, hit the target on the upside. Volume did drop, and it's still dropping. Stochastic is hinged. It's overbought now. CCI is hinging and hinging again. So I'm keeping that downside target at 1156. That is very, very close to a hanging man candle. That is bearish. And so I am still keeping that downside target down here because of that candle and because of the CCI. So I'm going to keep track of this one. It's still on the watch list. 4 out of 5 forecasts have hit. All right, so 80% of my targets have already hit on volume and otherwise. All right, here we go. I'm going to start ramping it up just a little bit, so take good notes. This is being recorded, by the way. This came to us through Nancy. This is a downside target that has not yet hit, but I'm keeping that downside target in place at 64.81. Why? Negative divergence on the CCI and the stochastic up here. That's a downside target still in play. I'm keeping that one as well as a star favorite. So far we have 4 star favorites now, 4 star favorites that are back on the board and will be talked about next week. So Nancy, your name will be mentioned again. GNRC, this is Generac. I talk about this as the hurricane season stock to trade. Here's another one. Bam. New folks, look very closely. Look what we have here. This target from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago is hit. And then it hit my target, went up. What happened? Last Wednesday, I put a downside target there. What did it do? It hit my target and it's going up. Isn't that incredible? My downside target, let me let that little data box come up there. My downside target on that one was 142.48, 142.48. Now, you got to be careful with Generac right now because it's caught in a trading channel. See, there's a resistance up top and there's support at the bottom. So this whole area here is a trading range or trading channel, and it's stuck right in the middle of the channel. I think Generac could pull back a little bit only because of the drop in volume. So this is not a star favorite, but I think it could pull back to the moving average, and then I think it could actually go back up. Why? Because we're still full speed ahead into hurricane season here, folks. And for those of you, JK and others who live in Florida, you could go outside, and if you breathe too heavily, you could drown from the humidity. It's thick and hot. And the Gulf of Mexico is warmed up, and all that moisture, for those of you that are the meteorologists, you know what I'm talking about. Same in South Carolina, right, Jason? You could feel it's like steam coming up. Well, that's hurricane season. So when you feel that steam going up to the clouds, Generac and Home Depot and Lowe's become really attractive, right? So here's my downside target, 142.45, and then right back up to 150.67. 150.67. Let me just take a step back, and I'm going to be ramping this up very quickly. But look at that. It could pull back, and I think it's going to start going up. This could very well be like an elongated cup and handle here, folks. This is a weekly chart. You see this? It's almost like a cycle bracket, right? But yeah, that weekly chart tells me we could go higher. We absolutely could go higher. Screaming Chicken, I'm not going to have time to run the cycle brackets, but all you got to do is go back to a monthly chart and look what happened during hurricane season right up until November. This stock and others like it tend to rally during that time. All right, so that is Generac, and that is the next one here is AI. This was Vic. Vic brought this one. All right, so I'm going to put AI in here. Here's the forecast on AI. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, folks. All right, here we go. Look, Zip line to the downside, missed by pennies, but then it went up. Then I hit my upside target, last week hit the downside target. Who in the world does that? I want you to do that. I want all of you to learn how to do that. I can't trade for you, as I mentioned, but I will spend all of the time that you need, because I'm here for 20 years. You think I'm kidding? I'm here for the next 20 years. And so I can't trade for you, but I could teach through repetition so that you get really good and your targets numbers are going to hit. And not only will you be able to read and draw target lines like this, but imagine this. I think this one's going back down. I think AI is going to go back down because it's in a triangle pattern. I think it's going back down to the moving average. I think it's going down to 37.91. So imagine you say, oh, I think I'm going to short this stock, or I'm going to buy puts. And guess what? It gaps up tomorrow. Well, the charts are telling you get out of that. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Charts are telling you that. You get out. The charts are telling you exactly where to get out. So you don't have to hang on to hope and a prayer that your trade's going to get better, right? So that one right there is downside on that. Yeah, what someone says AIS buy puts on Pfizer. I saw what was the plant that got hit by the tornado today? Was that Pfizer? I saw a news headline about that. Was that Pfizer? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if buying puts on that work, because they could quickly and work remotely as they're repairing that. Anyway, that's AI. My forecast to the downside, not a star favorite. That was Vic. Remember, RMBS, which is Rambus, that came to us by Robert. Did this one hit the target? Oh, not yet, but I think it will. I think it could tomorrow. Here's another one, folks. This is all the evidence you need. Downside zip line, target hit. Downside target will hit, and I matched it with that. I think both of these downside targets are going to hit. Look at the volume on that red candle. You see that? Brand new folks to charting. Volume is the gas pedal. The color is who's in control. So if the bears, which is red, hit the gas pedal, they're building momentum to the downside. If that's the only thing you take away from this, you've got a very valuable lesson right there. So that is most likely going to hit. And in fact, I think that one's going even lower. I think it's going lower to this support. So this, because it hit the momentum line down below, I'm putting this on the star favorite to the downside at 57.78. 57.78. So Eugene, you're going to be mentioned again next week. All right, let's go. OPRA, I got to stay on track here. That is another 5-part forecast. Hit the upside target. The volume dropped. Oscillators hinged. Look, see the oscillators, how they're turning now? It's a little bit premature to draw that, but it hinged. Sell signals. Hit the downside target on Friday. Isn't that amazing? How many of you made a lot of money on this one? Who was this? This was Dan. Dan, did you make money on that? Dan, because you got to remember, this is a huge percentage move. And on Friday, if you got long puts, again, I'm just giving you the examples of what our members are doing. I put out the reports, you interpret the information, you make the decision, you manage risk, bam, now you got a system, right? Now you got a system and a service that are working together, not against each other. Right, so where am I going with this? I think a lot of you already know where I'm going with this. Going down, folks. I'm going down. Look at the bearish engulfing candle. See that? So I'm going right down. I'm not getting crazy on this one, but I'm going downside 1991. 1991. So that's almost a 10% pullback. That little line there, that little zip line is almost a 10% pullback. Why am I not putting this on the star favorite? Who could tell me why it doesn't make the star favorite? The hinge on the what? The CCI? No, the hinge on the CCI is going down, but we still got a hinge on the stochastic. So if the stochastic was going lower, it would have had a chance. So that is it, Dan. Your stock is covered, and hopefully you like that forecast. All right, next one, XOM. This was another mark. We have a lot of marks on tonight. XOM, there we go again. Folks, evidence, chart after chart is confirming. Downside target was hit. Last week's downside target was hit. Where am I going with this? I want to see you all forecasting my forecast. Jen got it right there. I'm going right back up to the moving average. Now, a lot of you are probably reading about the strategic petroleum reserves, right? That they're probably going to stay replenished for a long time. Well, they're way down, and I think that there might be a chance our government might come back in and try to replenish that reserve, but that would only help ExxonMobil and some of the energy stocks. So I'm going up with this one, and this is a star favorite to the upside, 103.75. 103.75. That was Mark, and Mark, you're going to get mentioned again. Apple for our good Dr. Rob, AAPL. This one came up last week. What do we got? A shooting star. Now this is good. I'm keeping this one on the star favorite as well. Watch. Brand new folks, this is what my trading checklist is all about. I look at the chart and I look for bullish and bearish signals. So I look for buy and sell signals. And I stack them up on a simple checklist. This is a shooting star. That's bearish. This down here is called a stale green light. There are 6 green candles in a row. We're long overdue for a red. That's bearish, right? We've got resistance up here. We've got the stochastic is overbought, bearish. The CCI showing a negative divergence, bearish. Do we have any gaps below the market? Let's see. Do we have any gaps? I think we do have some gaps. Very small gaps below the market. Yeah, I got my thing on the way here. All right, so yeah, we do have a big gap below the market. Down here, that will act as a price magnet, bearish. So there's nothing on that chart that's bullish. Nothing. So that makes it as a star favorite. Dr. Rob, thank you so much. And by the way, Dr. Rob is one of our VIP members. If you are interested in that, put it in the Q&A box right now. If you're interested in our VIP program, I'm telling you right now, it's not cheap. But if you qualify, it's worth it. And you could let us know. No sales pressure. Believe me, I promise you. No sales pressure. All right, so now, Al, you are interested? All right, we'll get you to nod. Al, send an email to Stickytrades and we'll help you out there. All right, now, that's for Dr. Rob. MU, here's another one. Oh, look at that. That is something. This was another two-parter. Upside target was hit at 65.08. Did the downside target hit at 63.21? 63.34. So it missed it by 13 cents. I think it's going right back down. There we go. I'm going to go right back down. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to put that line there. I'm just going to I'm keeping that line. I think it's going right back down to 63.21. And that is another star favorite that's for Grimmy. Grimmy's a regular attendee there. Fred, if you email me, you can go. Just go to my Twitter page. I don't want to spend too much time on that because then it's going to sound salesy and it's not. Okay. If you have to ask how much it is, it's not for you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's because we're limiting the group. It's a very small group, and the VIPs get my personal phone number and have text messaging to me directly during trading hours and beyond. And my time is worth every penny that you pay for on that. So that's, again, I'm going to leave that alone there. All right. So now we've got an overbought condition on the CCI and the stochastic as well. So Grimmy, we'll be talking about you next week. Now, Adrian had a double star favorite in MXL. Oh, this is good. Look at this. All right, Adrian, did you make money on this? This was a 5-part forecast with a double star favorite. So we hit the upside target. Absolutely. 1, we had the drop in volume. There's forecast 2. We had the CCI and the stochastics hinged lower. 3 and 4. Did we hit? Oh, I got to see. Did we hit 5 and hit all 5 counts? Downside low there was 32. What was my forecast? 32. Did I miss it by pennies? All right, downside forecast was 32. Oh, look at that. I missed it by a penny. Oh, Adrian, did you make money on that even though I missed it by a penny? Again, that's no one's going to do that, but holy mackerel, that's so close. So I get 4 out of 5 points on that with the scorekeepers, and I missed it by a penny. Well, here's one that I'm not quite sure it's going to go right back down by right away. Here's why. Look at the weekly chart. Here's the weekly chart. See, this looks very much like a, not a head and shoulders, but it looks like a big pivot here. And we got the weekly starting to move over that moving average. So I'm going to have to go a little bit higher on that. I'm going to have to go a little bit higher. Not a star favorite, but I'm going to go up to resistance up here. I think this one could hit resistance. So not a star favorite, but I'm going up about $1, a little bit less than $1, 35.37, 35.37, not a star favorite. Adrian, I hope you made a lot of money. That's all I could say. All right, Don, AMAT, this was a forecast, another two-parter. And here we go. We hit the upside target. I do believe we're going to hit that downside target. This is staying on as a star favorite as well. Why? Because you got a red candle, and it looks like it closed very so slightly below that 20-period moving average, and there's a slight gap below that area here. And look down below. This is a crossover, the momentum line about to happen. And if that happens, I think that downside target's going to hit. So again, to reiterate that target and re-announce that that is a star favorite to the downside, that is 136.38. All right. Next one is AXSM, and this is the last of the carryover of the star favorites. This was a crazy forecast, folks. This is where we get crazy now. I do a zigzag ABCD forecast. Well, I said it would go up, then I said it would go down. Hit the downside target. What's it doing? It's pivoting up. I think this one's stuck. I think Axum Therapeutics is stuck in a very narrow range here. And I think it might just try to get back up to that moving average, but then I think it's going to come back down. So I'm still keeping the upside target on that. All right, so that is 76.48. And that is for Ryan. Not a star favorite, but I'm keeping that upside target. Now, we have how much time we have? We have 33 minutes, 23 minutes rather, and I got to go very quickly now. So if you got all of this intact with my trading checklist, what I'm going to do here on out is I'm just going rapid fire like the title implies, and I'm going right through it. So this is JZ. John is asking IGV. So here we go. IGV, sell it. Look down below. Look at the oscillators pivoting. Downside target on this one is 360.02. Our very first star favorite of the new batch of stocks. Thank you, JZ. Next one, NVDS. NVDS. What is that one? A penny stock almost. I think that's more of a buy. I'm not putting that as a star favorite, but I would put an upside target on that of $7.86. Thank you very much, Kelly. FTNT. What do we got there? Sell it. Bearish engulfing. That's engulfing almost 3 candles before. I got to slow this one down. You got a bearish engulfing that engulfs the previous candle, but it's also engulfing the 2 previous candles. Extremely bearish when you see that. Downside target right there. Increase in volume on the battle. Oscillator selling on the CCI sell signal 77.21. Another star favorite. Thank you, Paul, very much. Thank you. AVGO. This is Grimmy again. AVGO, Broadcom. I think it's Broadcom. Yeah, Broadcom. Did we hit the upside target? No. Bearish harami yesterday. Oscillators are shifting. I got to go back down, Grimmy. That's downsides. 872.97. 872.97. I'm going to leave it off to star favorite, but it's a close one. I could easily put that as a star favorite, but maybe you could bring it up next week, Grimmy. I always see your name there because you're always one of the first to get in to the Q&A box. Next one, ASTR, is brought to us by Uncle C's. Uncle C's, here we go. Buy it. Look at that increase in volume on the way up. It's a penny stock. I don't like trading them. They're very risky, but I think you have right back up to 43 cents. I don't really like even talking about these because people get in there and they say, well, how much can I lose? 43 cents? No, you can lose 100% of what you put into the 43-cent stock. There's a gap below the market, so I think it could go up and come right back down just like that. So I put more of a downside slant on that after the upside is hit at 38 cents. All right, next one. Uncle C's, good luck with that one. BRKB is Dale. This is Berkshire Hathaway. These are the B shares. BRK, put a /B to get that in there. And you got a pivot point here, folks. Pivot point to the downside. A lot of money in this fund. And that's 339.43. 339.43. If the stochastic was hinging lower, that would be a star favorite to the downside. Next one is Louis. He's looking for Boeing, ticker symbol BA. Sell it. Look at it. Look at that red candle. Now, I'm not going to go too big on that because I just see the momentum going, but the volume is dropping. But I think it got a little bit more on the downside. 206.39. 206.39 for Boeing. Not a star favorite. All right, Louis, not a star favorite. Next one, BKNG. I do believe John was asking about this. John, is this JK or John in Deerfield Beach? John, in shout out. Is that you in Deerfield Beach with the last name? I want to say something if that is you. Okay, I'm not going to mention your last name. You heard about the serial killer in Long Island? John on this webinar lived across the street from the guy, literally across the street, Massapequa Park. How scary is that? Man, talk about goosebumps. Look, I got him right there. Anyway, this one is BKNG. I want to tell you something. Again, I'm giving it out, but our VIP members that I spoke with today, the ones that I spoke with today, are looking at taking a long debit put spread on this. A long debit put spread up at the 3,050 level, right? 3,050 level. This one is going to be my very first double star favorite. This is a double star favorite is the best of the star favorites. So I'm going out a little bit more in time and putting 28.89, 28.89. So this one could drop quite significantly. And let me slow this down a little bit. Why? This is the fifth fan line. When you get extreme fan lines like this, and the most extreme fan line is broken, you now have a 90% chance of it dropping to the next fan line in the sequence. So while this is a double star favorite, I will tell you I'm being very conservative on that price target. I think it could pull all the way back here to around 2,800. That's a double star favorite, and you could thank John K for that one. Next one, Mark, is ARKK, liking Kathy Woodier and ARKK. This is a sell right there, right there. Spinning top. I'm going to go down just a little bit because of the increase in volume, but that's a spinning top, and the oscillators are showing negative divergences. So 49.27, 49.27 for ARK, and that is another mark on the books here with our member. I think we got 4 marks. Lola's asking for SQQQ. This goes up when the market goes down, and that looks like a little green candle there. And the oscillators are extremely oversold. Positive divergences. So we did hit this target from last time. See, we did hit that target, and I'm going very small movements on SQQQ right now. I think it could easily get back up. Forgive me for saying the word easily because that doesn't mean simple. Simple and easy are two different things. I think the stock could easily get up because of the price of where it is, and that would be a 50% retracement back to the moving average with gaps above the market. So 1776, you got another $1 potential on upside on that one on a $16 stock, right? So that is for Lowell. Diana is asking for Disney, ticker symbol DIS. I don't know. I see a pivot point on Disney, but I'm not quite sure what the strike is going to mean for them in Hollywood. They are an entertainment company, and that could be a backlash later on. But I'm going to go upside on Disney. We'll get to coin. Don't worry. We got it. And you should be typing your ticker symbols in the Q&A box, by the way. I'll get them more readily there. There is almost a gap, but I'm putting an upside target at 88.56. Not a big upside target, but I do believe Disney could get up to that level. Not a star favorite. What's next? Coin. For those of you looking for coin, I would say sell it. I have a downside target. I don't think it's going to hit this right away, so let's go in stages. I'm going to go down and use the 50%. I'm going to use the Fibonacci retracements rather. I'm going to go to the first Fibonacci retracement on this one. Here it is. You go to the very low there, go to the very high here. What's my first level of pullback? Right there, the 98.43. That's the Fibonacci first level retracement, 23.6. Stay tuned for my educational videos. I will be talking a lot about Leonardo Fibonacci. I'll show you how to use them on our educational offering there, because those are videos that we put out for our members on our member page. So I'm producing those. All right, now let me get to the zip line here. Downside, I'm going to try to get that as close as I can to 98.43. 98.43. Did I do that? Let's see if I get 98.43. I got to put 43 there. There it is. Matching right up with my Fibonacci retracement. Is that a star favorite? Yes, that's a star favorite. So thank you, Alan. That is you. You'll be mentioned next week. Google, coming from Randy, one of our regulars here. GOOG, sell it. Look at that, pulling back from resistance. Look at past targets, hit that target. So it seems to be doing okay with hitting my targets technically. So I'm going to go down with this again. Look at the increase in volume on the way down. I do believe there's a slight gap down here, but I'm going to put that downside target at 120.57. 120.57, and Randy's going to be mentioned again next week. Notice what I said about volume. We have a shooting star here, which was bearish, followed by, looks like a bearish engulfing, next candle. Now we have red, 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 but look at the volume increasing on the way down. See, that's the gas pedal again. The bears are hitting the gas pedal, so the momentum is increasing on the way down. That's why that one is on the downside. And do I have enough star favorites? I think I do, but Google is a star favorite for sure. Next one is coming from Lee. Hershey, one of my favorite stocks to trade in October. One of my favorite stocks to trade in October. Why? It's very cyclical. You want to have fun with Hershey stock? Look at how it starts off right before Halloween and watch how it ends right after Valentine's Day. Look what happens. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. All right, so let's see what we have here is a downside that was almost hit. We have an upside weakening. I'm keeping that downside target right there at 235.03. Mike said something about puts on the way up. A lot of our puts are inverted. We have positive deltas. We're looking good right now. And if you're taking directional trades, especially on the equities, we're looking better, a lot better. Stay tuned. All right, so now that one looks like it could go up a little bit more, but I think that it's running out of steam on the volume right there. All right, so, all right, now let's see. We have FDX. Now, this one, you know, a lot of you have heard about UPS with the whole strike and all that good stuff. You know, I was thinking that maybe FedEx would benefit from that. Hard to say. Notice these back here. Notice these price targets. Now, I'm going to show you something. This is what I look at and why a lot of times I keep these up. This was a two-parter that hit. This was one that did not hit. See, that one did not hit. This one did hit. It went down, hit the downside target, eventually hit the upside. So that one hit. This one did not hit. You see this? This one did not hit. So if I look at that, right, I'm looking at 3 out of 5 are not hitting. So I'm not going to go with the star favorite because it does not look like it's going according to the technical signals. So but I'm still going to go a little bit lower on this one because of the shooting star yesterday. I'm going just ever so slightly back to that moving average of 220.13, 220.13. Not a star favorite, Julie, not a star favorite. COST, spinning top, Drop in volume on the way up. Oh, look at that. First red candle after a long stretch of stale green light. That one looks like it's going down. Costco had broken out of a triangle pattern, but I think that one could go a little bit lower. So looking at the oscillators, there is another star favorite. That is for Tim, 546.34, 546.34. All right, now INTU is Jen. INTU, I would say sell that one. That one is long stretch of green. This one could pull back pretty hard, actually, I think. Look at the momentum shifting on that. 483.29, Jen. 483.29. Let me take a step back before I add this to the star favorite list. All right. Yeah, it's right at resistance up here. So, yeah, I feel comfortable with a downside target on that. Look at the volume on the weekly dropping as it's hitting resistance. See, this is a resistance area here that looks like it's going to hold. And after that forecast, I'll erase all these other fan lines that we have back there. Remember what I said? This was a former fan line back here. Remember what I said about most extreme fan lines? I said that when the most extreme fan line is broken, there's a 90% chance it'll pull back to the next fan line, which it did. You see? And so there's another fan line down here hidden. I don't know if it's going to get all the way down there. We'll have to see. But it does look like a short-term pullback on the daily chart, right? So that, again, is going out to Jen on INTU. Yeah, I can make that a star favorite. We won't have too many. All right, now coming into the final six with 9 minutes to go, I think we're going to hit it. I think we're going to do 40 stocks in 60 minutes. So UPS, again, related to FedEx, like we said, I have my downside target still in place for FedEx at for UPS at 181.64, 181.64. Look at the negative divergence that I drew back there. See that? So I'm keeping that downside target 181.64. And David, that will not be a star favorite. FAZ coming to us through Screaming Chicken. Let me get the right ticker symbol in there. Screaming Chicken, look at that. We almost hit that upside target, but that wasn't a star favorite. I got to look back. Did we hit prior targets? Yes, downside target hit, upside target hit, downside target hit, upside target hit. Yes, upside target back here hit. So from the looks of prior forecasts, it looks like 100% of my targets have been hit on that. And so where are we going now? I think I'm going to still go up on this one. And I could even go so far to say up to that level again. So I'm putting an upside target at 1818. Let me match this one. Hold on, what was that? That was 1841. Yeah, I'll go up to 1841 on that. I'm going to keep that going. 1841 to match the other one. So we have that some consistency there. So I'm going to take that one off, but keep the target in place with that new zip line. Look at the positive divergence on the CCI. See higher lows after lower price lows. All right, so that is, I'm going to keep that as a star favorite for Screaming Chicken. Then we got KRAE for Jason. Jason submitted this one, right? This is Carter Bankshares. I think this one's going down. This one looks to me like it's going to hit resistance at a roll reversal resistance that is also the brim of a cup and handle. See that? I don't think it's going to break out of the cup and handle, though. I think it's going to hit resistance. And the reason I say that is the drop in volume. If you're expecting a breakout on a cup and handle, you have to see an increase in volume on the way up, not a decrease. So I'm going down with this one to 1537 on CARE, right? We're going down on that one. One of my favorites, David B, is asking for NVIDIA, NVDA. I would say sell that one. I have to disclose this. I am now long puts in this one. I have a bearish harami right there. We have already, if you remember last week, we did not make this a star favorite, but I did put an upside target on that from last Wednesday, which hit, right? So this is another good one where it looks like it's got mixed targets hitting here, but I think that bearish harami is something you cannot ignore. So I'm going down side on Nvidia at 453.19. What's another reason why I'm long puts on Nvidia? Let me show you. Not only is the PE through the roof, but look at that vertical move on the stock. Look at the monthly chart. Can everyone see that? Can you understand why I think the stock is going to pull back? Because it has not had any relief. There has not been any profit taking. I think it's becoming exhausted. And if you look down below on the monthly chart, look at the drop in volume. We're well past the halfway mark in July, and we're just under the halfway mark on the volume. So I'm going down on Nvidia, and that's my personal position. I can't tell you how to trade. I'm just telling you what I'm doing on that one. All right. So that is Nvidia. Now we got two left is SCHW. A lot of people came into this one. I do not have a position in this, but a lot of our members do. If I'm going to do a shout out because we have no way of communicating with our members if they're not plugged in. If you are long the $50 calls and short the $55 calls, what I would do if I were able to take the stock, I can't because I have conflict with the company and I have not inside information, but I can't trade it. They just came out with earnings, blew the earnings away, but now look at that volume, no follow through. So if you have a calendar spread, there's nothing wrong with rolling that short to August and rolling the long side up to the 55 strike. And that is a great position because we have till 2025 to get that cost basis down, right? That's why you're absolutely right, Niren. I got that. And I'm not bringing anyone into the conversation there because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. You know what I mean? All right. So that is a red candle. They closed it right on the low. I think it's going down. So I'm putting a downside forecast on that. This will be a star favorite as well because I do not have a position in it. 62.22, star favorite. Last but not least, with 3 minutes to go, is EFX. Now, by the way, Schwab was brought to us by Lori. Thank you, Lori. The next one and the last one is brought to us by Derek, which is EFX. What do we have here? I got to get the ticker symbol in there first, right? EFX. Why isn't that coming up? EFX. Yeah, I got to sell. I got to put a downside zip line right there. Why? Long stretch of green was broken today on the red. Shooting star that followed a shooting star on Monday, right? Gap filled, but it has not reversed yet. So I'm going downside on that one at 232.58, 232.58, right? Everyone's asking for Apple. You got this target? I'll go back and get that Apple target for Rob. I put that out last week and it did not. Oh, I did not give you the downside target. I'm so sorry. All right, downside target on that is going to be back down to the moving average of 190.82, 190.82. All right, so thank you for pointing it out. Otherwise, that would have been recorded without that being noted. All right, so with a minute and a half left, let me just talk to you a little bit more about what we have here going next Monday and let you know why I'm involved with Sticky Trades for the next 20 years. On Saturday, I turned 65. On Saturday, I turned 65. I told the last company I was giving them 20 years of my life. Don't read too far into this. It's not a problem. I told the last company I would give them 20 years of my life. And I was ready to do that until 85. Because as long as I could type with these fingers and talk with this mouth, I love what I do. And hopefully you could pick up on that. All right. But things didn't work out that way. We are now in a partnership with Sticky Trades. I'm building this company with all of you, every one of you, every single one of you are helping us build this company. And I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough. What we have experienced in just 1 week would blow your mind. Would blow your mind. I'm telling you. Today, I have good news for you today. We're working out a transition that is going to be really good for the former company and our company. I was talking to Pete today. Things are good. Things are looking optimistic. Stay tuned. Announcements will be made. But the big announcement for us is that Sticky Trades is going full speed ahead on Monday. And I really can't wait for you to see that website. You're going to be absolutely amazed at what we've done and how AI is going to play a part in this moving forward with other partnerships that we've formed through affiliates. It's going to be incredible, folks. And I don't know why all these congratulation things. This is the first time I'm seeing clapping hands and hearts and everything else. There must be emoji section in there. I love that. Look at that heart that just, I have no idea who's sending those, but thank you. You know, this is just a truly amazing event because I think there's divine intervention here. I'm not kidding. I'm not going to go up on that pedestal, but I'm telling you, I feel this positive energy and it's coming from all of you. It's absolutely this environment that you are all helping us build. So can't thank you enough. Until then, stay tuned to the Twitter page, the YouTube page, stickytrades.com, and the publication alert page, and you're going to be plugged right in, and we'll take the next step into the future. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the week, and I'll talk to you later. So long.